Hello, viewers. This is Sir Primeval, or SP for short, and this is another idea for a Gamera anime that I call Gamera the Four Factors. But it's not yet complete, but I'll show you some details and ideas that I have for this anime. Anyway, um, the anime itself will be animated by the same studio who made the So I'm a Spider, So What anime. Basically, it's based on the four symbols from the Asian mythology, which each head kaiju in each faction would be based on the four symbols, like Gamera would be based on the black tortoise, and. Also, there'll be other kaiju in each faction based on the Chinese zodiac and which symbol they are under. And they each have a main human partner who would control these kaiju, including his or her main kaiju, and he or she would also become a giant armored warrior of some kind to sometimes fight alongside his or her kaiju for certain things and stuff like that. I haven't really thought of the story or what the main goal or whatever else. Just some ideas that I have. Now let me introduce you to the kaiju and the characters. For the North faction, the head kaiju for that faction is Gamera, who, well, his shell will be based on Drasil from the Beyblade series. The Dino Tortoise, turtle-like bit beast or spirit beast from Beyblade, who has long spikes on its back. But also Gamera in this anime would be all black in color. Who would also have blades on his side wrists. I mean side arms and blades on his tail. Like just goes from his shell to the tip of the tail. And anyway, his human partner would be Kuru. Well, I haven't thought much ideas for Kuru. Maybe I could have him be like a good-hearted guy who's interested in like archaeology and ancient civilizations and mythology and stuff like that. He becomes the Hay giant. Hay or Hai is Chinese for black, so you probably get it. The other kaiju for this faction are Yazu, which is probably Chinese or something for boar. And yeah, he's a boar-like kaiju with sharp edges on his back. Monga, which is the unused flying squirrel kaiju from the Showa era. And because squirrels are basically rodents, and you get it. And lastly, Zuza, a minotaur-like kaiju. Now for the South faction. Oh, I almost forgot to mention that each of the kaiju from each faction would merge with the the head kaiju to become a super powerful form. Like Gamera merges with Monga to become Electric Gamera or something like that. I forgot to mention that Monga in this anime can use electric base attacks. Anyway, for the South faction, the head kaiju we would be Guilala. For those who don't know, Guilala is a alien kaiju from the live action movie called The X from Outer Space. He's green in color with these orange eyes, a bird-like beak, and has these weird-looking antenna. Although Guilala in that movie would look better without the antenna, in my perspective. But this, oh yeah, Guilala can transform into his spear form in that movie to go into certain locations faster. Kind of like Bemular from Ultraman. Anyway, this Guilala, well, it's more bird-like in appearance and more red and have feathers around. Kind of like Pandon from Ultra 7, but with only one head and has feathers completely covered in her body. Well, also, this version of Guilala is female. Her partner, human, her name is Colette from France, and becomes the Vermilion Giant. The other kaiju are Garasharp, another unused kaiju from the Showa era, Yo-Yo, a horse-like kaiju, and some sheep kaiju that I didn't thought of a name or anything else for that kaiju. For the East faction, its head kaiju is Barugon. Well, I know it looks like it says Barugon, but I like to call him Bargon, just wanting the name the U silent because Barugon almost sounds similar to Baragon. Well, though Barugon's name is based on the foreign word for crocodilian, which is the word Baru. Apologies for not mentioning that first. But anyway, Bargon in this anime would be blue in color and has more crystal-like spikes on his body. Kind of like Space Godzilla, but you know, more blue in color, more icy-like in appearance. His human partner is Nalu from New Guinea. It's to pay homage to like in the Showa era where Bargon's egg is from the Valley of Rainbows, which is in New Guinea, and he becomes the Azure Giant. The other kaiju in this faction are Gyaos, which for the reason that is because, well, even though bats and rabbits are not related, they're still mammals, and usually Gaios in some well, he's sometimes depicted with pointy ears like a rabbit, so you get the picture. Jiger is in this faction, though not because her name rhymes with tiger, but because the because Jiger is a more dinosaur like kaiju, and under the Azure Dragon is the Zodiac, the Asian dragon, and dragons usually have some similarities to dinosaurs, so that's the reason there. But for the tiger-based kaiju, that would be Zuwa. He is a Smilodon-like kaiju. And lastly, the West faction. The head kaiju... Sorry there. Anyway, the head kaiju for that faction is Shilohu. She is a were-tiger-like kaiju. Her human partner is Yakui. She is a headstrong woman who lived her whole life in the wild since she was a child, and she becomes the Bai Giant. The other kaiju for that faction is Gappa, a griffin-like kaiju mixed with rooster. Suyan, he is a monkey-like kaiju. And lastly, Lungzi. She is a Cerberus/fox-like kaiju. And that's about it for this Gamera idea, anime idea that I have. Sorry that it's not exactly complete. I wish I could have thought of more things to add into it. So what do you guys think about my idea for another Gamera anime series? What are your ideas for it? Leave a comment down below, like, share, subscribe, and goodbye.